A report by the World Health Organization concludes that 80% of the children between the ages of 11 and 17 aren't physically active enough. The report stated that girls get less exercise than boys, possibly because of the lack of access to many healthcare programs. Hello, this is Smita Kumar, and you're watching Medicircle. Today, on our healthcare startup series, we have Dr. Tejal Kanwar with us. Dr. Tejal is the co founder of Kleinetics, Mumbai based startup. It's a kids' fitness program system that aims to inculcate a love of exercising and staying healthy from a young age to prevent the onset of unhealthy lifestyle disorders. Today, we always see our children either they are sticking to a mobile phone or a smart tab or something, and they are unlike our own childhood where we used to play a lot and we were never near to all such devices. So there's a common concern about so many parents who want to know how to make their kids more and more healthy, and more especially staying healthy with these good habits of exercising and uh, regular things and away from these devices. So let's know more about it from Dr. Tejal. Hi, Dr. Tejal. Welcome to MediCircle.
Thank you for the great introduction to the program, and thank you for hosting.
It's always a pleasure, Dr. Tejal. It's good to have another woman entrepreneur on that side because it really gives immense pleasure to me that whenever I'm hosting a woman entrepreneur, definitely when we talk about kids, we are always concerned about their health. But things like they are around, there are so many things who distract them from being physically active. Like we always say to our kids, because due to Corona, many times we didn't allow them to go to parks or go outside. But yes, now everything has become normal. So we also need our children to be more and more healthy and fit. So tell us about your startup, Tejal, how you started and what was the reason behind starting your fitness startup?
So there were a couple of factors, actually three factors that led to this idea. So when we started seeing a lot of patients, I'm a gynecologist, and I was seeing plenty of cases of polycystic ovaries, PCOD and PCOS patients in my clinic. So PCOD patients we were seeing at the age of 13, 14, 16, very young girls with so many hormonal issues. And similar things were happening because of the sedentary lifestyle in boys as well. But of course, I was giving them the prescription, and then they would go back and come back again with not really following the advice for fitness or strength building, and the typical program and prescription and medicines that we give was not being followed. Only the medicines were being consumed. So in every doctor's clinic, I think that is the gap. I think we as doctors, as gynacs and endocrinologists need to understand that just giving a prescription is not enough. We need to make sure that the child or the girls and even the women who are suffering from PCOD, they get the right holistic approach. And that's the gap. We need to have that connection with fitness as doctors, and how fitness and strengthening can help these kids and teenagers. So that was one. The second part was, of course, my own children. My son, who was a low birth weight baby, and then while growing up, he had immense love for sports. But because of the low birth weight, he had a lot of issues due to not being that fit as compared to the other kids. And, there were other kids in his batch itself who were trying to get better and better in the sports, but were not having any access to a good fitness program. And the third factor was I myself am always been a bit like enthusiastic about fitness because of my family background. Always my family has been into fitness, health, nutrition. Starting from my grandfather, and my father was also into this whole wrestling thing. Every morning he used to go wrestling. So that is something that I've grown up, seeing. And that's what led to me that, we need to provide a very structured fitness program. And sedentary lifestyle has been going on for the last 20 years now. I think more than that. Right from the time when we had television sets, right? I think that's when it all started. And I remember in my childhood, I was a big fan of Jane Fonda videos. So I used to get those videos, the VCRs, and do those workouts myself. And I used to enjoy them. And though my kids really loved sports, they were not fit enough. He was not strong enough. He was not fast enough to kick the ball. So I really desperately started looking for a fitness coach, and I was not able to find. And that's when I was going to my kickboxing class, and I collaborated with my coach, and he was my friend, and he's also the co-founder, and we started Kleinetics, where we started with small communities, and we realized that this game based and the play based program, where we are actually blending workouts into the games and the play based program, kids are loving it, and they're not even feeling that they are exercising. So Kleinetics, we don't even use the word Kleinetics fitness. It's just Kleinetics. And children, we've trained so many kids, and children relate Kleinetics is fun. And oh, it was a high energetic class, and it was so much fun. And they go back sweating, and they just love it, and they don't want to miss the next class also. So that's the journey from to 2015-16 we experimented, and 2017 we established this entire program. And of course, we are adding so many more things. And it's been very, very exciting, especially during the pandemic also. The journey has been hugely rewarding, I would say. I mean, of course, for 3 to 4 months, because of the lockdown, it was completely shut, but it was a huge access due to the online virtual space to so many children. So it's been a wonderful journey so far, and this is a beginning to new beginnings, I would say.
Definitely. And what are the important USPs of Kleinetics that you would like to share with us? Because we have other startups also who focus on kids' fitness, some of them being Sportize. Sportize is there, and also kids' fitness like Expert Kids.
Yeah, so of course, our USP is, I would say, as a woman, as a gynecologist, and now as an entrepreneur, I'm able to relate to the consumer, who is the parent, mainly the mother. What are the requirements of the mother? And having fitness experts on board, having certified fitness coaches, and having certified experts who are creating the program and helping us make this program extremely fun and play based is another thing that we've added. Over and above that, the themes that we have added in our program are exposure to various sports, specifically net sports, or what we call as target sports, and even themes of gymnastics, self-defense, yoga, dance fitness, what we call as music-based workouts. And of course, there is animal movement. There is a lot of animal movements that we teach the children, and children at any age would love it. So that's our USP, as I would like to put it, because just having fitness without the fun and the game approach is not really fun for the child. We've seen a lot of fitness companies where the child is just doing some agility workout on a ladder or just doing a plank. But if you package it, if you deliver it, and if the coach, who's the teacher, who's the trainer, relates and bonds with the kid, engages the kid in a very, very different way, in the way the kid understands fitness, that's the game that we are trying to play here. Basically, our coach training program is extremely, I would say, kid-centric. We don't make it very hard on the science. Of course, there is a science which has to be learned because kids are very different from adults. So the coach training program is our USP, where we are teaching the coaches extremely good psychosocial skills. And the coaches and the experts who are with us, they come from background of love for sports, and they love to, and they automatically and naturally bond with the kids, and they can get to the level of a child's world. And that's the second or third USP. I think I've already given you a lot of,
Yes.
special
So
USPs.
because definitely whenever we are talking and whenever we are making helping kids to learn something, especially related to sports, we definitely need to add the fun quotient here. Sharing one data with you here, Dr. Tejal, according to statistics provided by the Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, it shows that 5.74% to 8.82% school children in India are obese. 74% of the children between the ages of 5 to 10 do not get enough exercise on a daily basis. That means there are a lot of things that even the schools can plan. If we talk about schools, right, there are so many things, right, from yoga, meditation, and there are so many sports that are being played. So, but besides the poor eating habits and sedentary lifestyle, there are some very important major reasons which are actually the declining levels of physical fitness in children, which are actually leading to childhood obesity, diabetes, and other lifestyle problems. So we, as a fitness startup, especially dedicated to kids, making kids learn the value of fitness right from a very young age is something which is very good nurturing. So are you also collaborated with schools who are having different programs which can help more and more children learn some new things, especially in sports?
We have partnered with several schools in Mumbai. We have partnered with schools in Pune as well as in Bangalore. And we had a community based approach about till 2018-19. And then we started approaching schools because our program is quite structured and we have an evaluation and leaderboard and a lot of game elements, what I call as gamification, where the kids have a certain level that they cross and they get badges and rewards. So gamification is also part of the program that we are executing. Also, the schools are looking for now after the new NEP policy of the government 2020, the schools are definitely looking at changing and evolving the PE period, what used to be just a little bit of running and playing sports. Now, in the PE period itself, we need to make some really revolutionary changes in the way PE is delivered in our schools. There is a lot of openness in IB and some of these schools to better programs, but there needs to be a lot of grassroots level changes also in the way fitness is delivered to children. It should not be just running. Every group of muscle of the body should be worked upon, and there should be an overall holistic development of the child. And of course, it has to be layered with a lot of fun. I mean, the children should not be told or we should not expect them that to learn motivation. There has to be intrinsic motivation or integrated motivation in the child. And that will happen only if a child enjoys a particular activity. And it's not easy to do that. Even we have found a lot of challenges in how to master it. How do you get the coach to really be the pied piper, I would say, and attract the kids so well that the kids are definitely going to break into a sweat and really enjoy that particular class. We are still figuring it out, and I'm sure you know it's like an evolving process, and that's where I think the schools have really liked our program, the way we are really making an effort to engage the kids. So it's really being lapped up, I would say, by a lot of schools. And actually we really need to now roll out our trainer program so that we can onboard more and more good coaches.
That's good to know. And how many kids, lives you have touched so far? So, how many kids have enrolled into such programs and have started taking fitness as their daily goals?
Yeah, so because of the pandemic, we were able to reach out to so many children. And I think till now, we have trained about 30,000 kids. And thanks to the virtual space, we were able to reach out to 7 countries over the last 2.5 years. Of course, that is now we are in 3 cities. Even that is thanks to the pandemic, because in other cities there is a demand, but we are slowly getting there by training more and more coaches. And I believe that rushing into scaling up any business should not be done, because it really compromises on the quality that you want to execute, especially if it is fitness, and especially if it is related to children. So you need to have very good quality getting delivered on ground. So that is what, of course, we want to scale up. Of course, it's a business, but we want to make sure that we are impacting in the right way.
Definitely. So scale up is definitely not on the cards, because yes, yet, but definitely not compromising on the quality of services given, because if it's actually something which you are inculcating in the children, that good health,
Yeah.
keeping healthy and exercising, maintaining your fitness levels is like a regime of yours, and it would be like there with them for all the years, definitely making them more and more healthier. And that definitely needs to be there, because having the second largest population in India, we have got so many children who are diabetic. There are so many
Yes.
obese children who are diabetic. Like another study shows that about 97,000 children in India suffer from type 1 diabetes. Also, another study in the pediatric obesity, it predicts that India will have about 17 million obese children by 2025. So
Yes.
I think startups definitely are playing a good role, need to play definitely a good role, especially in the kids' fitness levels, because it is just not the responsibility of the parents. It's like the entire community responsibility, right, from schools to parents, so that they have an approach to such organizations, such startups, where they can add something like this. But don't you think, Dr. Tejal, that it's also about the mindset? We always used to hear that it means पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब and खेलोगे कूदोगे तो बनोगे खराब. So, but our Indian athletes and Indian sports people who are doing such great, bringing such good privilege and proud to India, because they have won so many gold, silver, and bronze medals. So we definitely need to change that mindset. Also, people are always trying to, parents especially, are always trying to, I mean, pressurize their kids sometimes to excel in every walk of the life. It's not that easy. There would be some kids who would be extremely good, but actually they never try for any such sport. They may be very good at that, but they are not at all giving their time, which definitely needs to be there, so that they can establish themselves as a good sports player. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so mindset is definitely changing. You will see so many adults, so many parents participating in marathons, for example, or they go very regularly to the gyms, or they do some fitness program, yoga, some online, something or the other is now being seen, because sedentary lives are not going away, gadgets are not going away, all these comforts of our lives are not going away, right? And these comforts we want to give to the kids also. But yes, we need to realize that we are overburdening the kids, as you rightly said, with tuitions for, sitting activities. I don't think, even with my first child, I'm guilty to, having her go through that also, because it was a lot of peer pressure. So it's something that we all parents must realize, that we are overburdening the kids, and they need, actually, statistics say that they need not only 1 hour of structured play, but they need one more hour, one extra hour of unstructured play in that one day.
Yes.
So there is 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of physical activity happening, one structured and one unstructured. Are we really doing justice to that? I don't think so. So parents, yes, there is a mindset change. There is a shift happening. And with so much of sports being spoken about, so many medals that we are winning, there are changes which we are seeing, but very small changes. We have a long way to go. And there are some right decisions which are being made by the current policy makers in the government, and they're encouraging so many activities as well. Khelo India and so many such platforms are coming up. So I see that the future is great, and the kind of support that we need from policymakers, schools will definitely make these changes. And I'm very, very hopeful. And I think we are going to be a very strong and fit nation in the next 2 decades.
Sure. And on that note, would like share with you some learning experiences that you gained during your entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, lots of successes and failures as well. Um, I mean, it's been very challenging leaving my practice and trying to make these kind of changes. So entrepreneurship is very tough, and it is something that is exciting as well as very, very challenging. But it's such a fun ride. I mean, if I were to look back and see, then I would not regret it even one single bit. And I think if idea stays as an idea itself, it's of no use. I think it's very important for entrepreneurs. I would just advise them to start experimenting, start executing their ideas. Just sitting on some idea is really not, idea is not worth anything. And for women, I think a lot of encouragement and support from family is required. And even if they don't get, I think talking, having conversations within the family, if they want to do something, I think that is very, very crucial for them to really go out and do something and make an impact for themselves. Because I see a lot of women are so good at what they do, and they just don't have the chance. And I feel that I've got I've got very lucky, because it's been great having so many female coaches also, and the employees who work with me also, they're so meticulous. Some of these women, they're so good. I think if women come in such positions in power, they can really make such a big difference in so many things, in the way processes are, in the way execution is, and it just builds so much trust. I think that's something that I would just share with everyone here.
So yes, thank you so much, Dr. Tejal, for joining us today for this healthcare startup series. We wish you and Kleinetics all the best for all its future endeavors.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.